with my Tea Time Talk Show. And we have an absolutely amazing guest today. He's young, dynamic, and he is none other than Nazim, who is Nizam, and who's come all the way from Pune. Welcome, Nizam, to my Tea Time Talk Show. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Mala, and it's great to be here with you. I am super excited for this conversation. I
I'm
hope
su-
it's gonna be super valuable for everyone.
I know I'm super excited that you're here on my show. So, how have you been?
I have been super amazing. I mean, a lot of people are cursing COVID to be a bad time, but honestly, I'm on the totally opposite side. I'm doing super well. I'm doing a lot of stuff that I was always wanting to do, and I'm actually in the best shape, actually, to be very honest. So I'm doing great.
Great. It's the way you want to see yourself, your life. So, I'm sure nothing can hold us back if you really want to do something in life.
Absolutely.
So, today, do you want to introduce yourself first and talk about yourself a little bit? Nazim?
Well, sure. I'll just give a very quick introduction. So, hi,
Yeah.
everybody. First of all, thank you so much for joining in. And Mala, it's a super amazing initiative that you are carrying out, bringing so many people, giving out value to your audience. Not a lot of people are doing that. So, first of all, thank you and congratulate on this.
Thank
Keep
you.
up this initiative. And a bit about me, everybody. So, I'm a youth motivational speaker. I am a communication trainer. I'm a voiceover artist, and I'm intensely content creator. So I keep on creating content every other day on very various topics. And communication is one of the specific portfolios that I really am curious about. I teach people and I practice myself as well. So that is a bit about me. And so if there's any question, please feel free to pop in the chat box. I'm more than happy to answer all your questions.
Great. Lovely. So, how did you started this? Nizam, can you tell a little bit about yourself? How did you get into this?
Yeah. So I was always interested in speaking. I was always interested in communication. Now, I am someone who currently works in sales and marketing as well. I was super fascinated by building networks, by building communities, by talking. And there is a huge gap that I have seen in people. I see a lot of people are tremendously talented. A lot of people have great insights, great views, and great opinions. But just because they lack that sense or that effective communication, they're not able to put that thought or put that idea across the table. And the idea which is not presented or the idea which is not executed just goes void. Opportunity is lost. So I want to bridge that gap. I want to help people, break that wall, break that cocoon of themselves, come out, be more expressive, let there be fearless about their ideas and their opinions, and I want them to stand out. And I teach them to communicate themselves properly, because there are various aspects of communication. Some are language, then there is vocabulary, then there's sentence framing, then there is public speaking, then there is videos, so on and so forth. So I've been helping my mentees, a lot of them, to overcome that shell, come out, be more spoken about themselves, speaking their heart out. And since the last 1.5 years I'm doing, and I have been helping a lot of people gain more opportunities in life. So gives me happiness, gives me a purpose, and I'm super happy doing that.
Lovely. So, tell me, Nizam, absolutely fresh person who has no confidence in talking and in communicating with people. What do you think the time frame that you look into a person, or I would say, how would you feel that this person takes X amount of time to, learn a basic? So, how do you figure out?
Right. So there are various aspects to it. First can be, if that person is already proficient in that language, then he or she
Right.
needs a next level training to that. Whereas, let's take an example, someone who wants to be proficient in English public speaking, but their
Hmm.
English language is not that great enough. So we got to work
Right.
on the language first. And then we keep
Right.
on going to the next steps. You have to take them through class 1 and 2 and 3, and then you can, go down the line. But if someone is not proficient in the language, and if that is the language that they want to be a public speaker in, then they got to be proficient in the language, and then we move ahead. However, if someone is well versed with the language, then we go on to the next steps. Next steps, like we go on to doing things like focusing on their confidence, focusing on their public speaking, focusing on their storytelling, focusing on how they can be expressive in their authentic manner. Because there is a huge problem with people want to speak like someone, and this is where their authenticity fades away, and I always say, you know what, there are always ideals or people that we look up to. I mean, I look up to a lot of people as well. I learn from them, but I don't want to speak like them. I want to speak like
True.
myself, but I want to rectify and take the best from these people. You know what, someone is saying good, like great storytellers, and someone has a great voice modulation, someone has a great facial expression, things going on there. So I take the best from all and try to make a nice cocktail, and then present it from my front itself. But it is authentic me, it is authentic Nizam speaking. So you actually cannot judge, or I cannot, or like whenever I go and whenever I mentee someone, then I have to understand, spend some time with them, and understand where they are lagging behind. And then I keep on pinpointing these specific things. These are the things that you need to start to work with, and I will help you. I'll give you a hand holding in doing that. And once they are done, then we move on to the next things based on what people are facing. I mean, what kind of problem they are facing. So it's typically subjective based on person to person.
I say, because I know for a fact that there are many people, they just take a back seat because they feel they are lacking in confidence, or they may not be knowing any a specific language or something, because many people think that it's all about creating impression. So how do you think that's true?
So there are two aspects to it. Some people want to create an impression because they want to please their surrounding, and some people want to create an impression because they want to make an impact. Now, here
Right,
are two different things. One is external and one is completely internal. I am
right,
firmly on the latter side. If you want to create an impression because you want to create an impact. And that is a better purpose, because you are completely in a room with yourself. But the moment you
right.
want to create an impression based on the fact, you know what, there are 10 people in the room, I am the 11th one, and I want to please all of these people, then you start doing things based on what they like. And this is when you leave your authentic self, and you will burn out in a specific period of time, because this is not a long lasting game. The long lasting game is when you are being you. The long lasting game is
Right.
not when you are being someone else. So this is one of the
Correct.
confidence tips I keep on giving people. Now, things I keep on saying are pretty cliched, but they are cliched because they actually work. It has worked with me, it has worked with people I help, and I'm sure it's going to work in the very long run. So in order to be confident, you got to understand the fact that you got to be confident from your internal self. Now, there are various things that will affect your confidence, right? Let's say, for example, you commit a mistake and there is someone by your side who will help you rectify that mistake, then it's a confidence booster. Whereas on the other hand, while you make a mistake and there is someone who is always by your side to condemn you, to punish you, to pull you down for that mistake that you've made, your confidence level will drop down. So first thing is, you got to be confident because you want to create an impact, and you got to create an impression, and you got to be confident from your inner self. And the second thing is very important: you got to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who are bold enough to rectify your mistakes and not to pull you down. So these are the two things I think people should majorly have in their life, so that they can have a confidence booster every other day, and it really is visible in every aspect of life. I mean, if you are a confident person, your confidence is a shining star in your daily life. Trust me, I've
That's
been
true.
there, and it feels amazing to be confident. Surround yourself with great people.
True. I mean, I know that because, I run this group, as you know, Grow Younger, and I train 50 plus women. And I have seen most of the women, they feel, they don't want to talk. Maybe in Hindi or in English, they feel मेरे से कोई गलती नहीं हो जाए, and they are always like feeling little ki galti nahi ho jaye, what should we do, so they are always taking a back seat. So this is what I train them, to just speak out their heart. There's no language when they speak from their heart and their true emotion comes. I think you've won the battle. You don't need to do anything more. Any language is so expressive and it comes from your heart.
100%. I totally agree with you. Hence, I tell a lot of people that in order to improvise your speaking skills, come out and share your story. You don't
Yeah,
have to be correct in your language. You can goof up as many times as you want. You can be grammatically horrible. But the moment you come out and you share your idea for 10-15 minutes, or share your story for 10-15 minutes in a language, and people appreciate that, that confidence is gonna be a foundation stone for every other speaking gig that comes to you down the line.
that's true. That's true. Are there any strategies or specific skills that people should go through learning this thing, communication skills, or how it is? How do you go about it?
Well, it depends how they want to execute their communication skills. Like someone is in the media business, they would have a different aspect of how they want to leverage their communication skills. So me being a speaker and a trainer myself, I have a specific portfolio on how I want to train people and how I want to present myself as a speaker, as a keynote speaker in front of corporates, in front of different colleges, which I'm already doing. So based on that agenda, there are specific skills that you want to learn. Now, one of the very powerful tools and skills that people use, and I tell everyone to do it, are stories. Like if you are a great storyteller, you will own the show. You will own the show. So if you see all the best TED talks, you will see all the best Josh talks, you will see all the best speeches. These are not facts and figures, but these are stories. These are journeys of people, that how they have come across to this point, what are the obstacles that they have faced, how they have how they have overcame those obstacles. So storytelling is one of the core things that you should master in order to be a great communicator. Just take an example. Whenever we are sitting in a party or whenever we are in a gathering, what do we discuss? We actually discuss what happened to us in the previous days, right?
True.
This thing happened to me. You know what happened? This happened, and then this happened. What are you doing? You're always sharing a story. Everyone, you're always sharing a story. If you can learn the art, or you can master the art of how you can present that specific seed in the best possible manner, you will be unforgettable. People will remember that story. People will remember you. People will connect with you. I have had instances in my life where I met someone for the first time, and then after months they connected with me. You know what? We met at the networking event, and you were just sharing the story of how you got this client, and that was so fascinating. I thought I should connect with you. And out of the blue, people are connecting with me, and then it gave me an opportunity to build my clientele, to build my to build my community, to help more people. The storytelling is one of the arts that you definitely should learn. And again, coming back to the point, the skills that you want to possess should be, or is, very subjective in nature. Based on what you want to do, you should leverage those specific skills, but storytelling is surely one of them.
Okay, so storytelling, which is always helpful to, any age group. Also, when you communicate with people, many times I have seen people do not listen properly and they just reply for the heck of replying. Many times it has happened. You just want to reply just because you feel that person is talking to you, and it just comes back without realizing what you are actually saying.
This is such a powerful point, and I always tell people great communicators are better listeners than better
Listener.
speakers. Now,
That's
I
true.
am guilty of it too. Honestly, I was a horrible listener, and I'm still practicing my listening skills every day, because compassion is something that really makes you a great communicator. A great communicator is someone who understands his or her audience and then puts forward what he or she wants to say. It's not always what I want to say, I'm going to vomit it. No, that's the audience that you're speaking to should actually be able to comprehend what you're trying to convey, or else the communication is void. There's no impact happening, there is no influence happening. So I tell this a lot of people that you better got to work on your listening skills. And there is a scientific study, and there's a saying as well. You know, when there are two people in a communication, when one is speaking, how, like, majority of the times the other person is just waiting for their turn to speak,
True.
right? Just waiting for, they're not paying attention to what the other person is saying, and that is not a sign of a good communicator. Yeah, absolutely, while the other person is speaking, you have made up on your mind that what do you want to convey when this person stops speaking. But there is a way to do it, and that way is known as acknowledging. And I really believe in that, and I practice it daily. It really helps me a lot. It really helps me with my neighbors, with the sabji wala right in front of my house, with my doodh wala, with my cook, my maid, everyone. It really helps. It builds better relation. And how do you do it is you got to acknowledge the person. So whenever someone is done speaking, you actually say, oh, okay, is it what happened to you? You know what, I really empathize with this scenario, because something like this also has happened to me. And then you go about with your story. So what you have done, you have acknowledged that person's story. That person feels respectful, that okay, this person is actually paying a patient listening to what I was saying. And he would also be inclined to listen to you patiently, because you have given your precious time for listening to his story, and now he or she will be listening to your story as well. But if you do not acknowledge, the cycle, the vicious cycle, just keeps going on and on. That person also isn't bothered about what you're saying. He or she is just waiting for their turn to speak it out. So listen, acknowledge, give your views, and then put forward what you have to say. Period.
I always add one more thing in that, and do not be judgmental, because when people talk and when person is listening to what the other person is saying, we normally as a human being have a habit of judging it, oh, so this is what I add one more thing to it, that do not be judgmental.
100%, 100%. I totally agree to this point.
Great. So I remember when I used to do this listening part with my group, I feel it's also a therapy. It's so therapeutic when, especially when as you grow, people don't have time, and people do not, they feel that nobody's there to listen to them. So many a times my classes, what I do, I give chance everybody to talk and listen to them. And I say, wow, you are so amazing. If you're good at this, you must teach the whole group. And this is what builds their confidence. So I think listening is an absolutely brilliant tool.
Absolutely. And you brought a very important point, and I'm going to say something on this, is that, a lot of times people just want to be listened. And this is where we
Yes.
make a mistake. So whenever someone is coming and sharing their
Yes.
incidences or their experiences, involuntarily or voluntarily, we keep on throwing our solutions to them. But that is
True.
not what they're
True.
looking for.
Yeah.
You give your solution when they ask you. But most of the times, and I have been through it, I have been guilty of it, and I've been through it as well. People are just there because they want to give their solution. No, they just want you to listen to them, because they want to let it out, they feel light, and then you can go about if they want a solution to that or not. But first,
Yeah.
be a very patient listener, give them a very patient listening, and then you can go about to if they want to have a solution. And great listeners are loved by everyone. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah, true. And plus, you build a very good rapport and confidence with the opposite person. They feel he's listening to me, he's understanding me more. So, yeah,
That is how.
brilliant.
That is something we use in sales. That is something I use in speaking. That is something I use in storytelling as well. Better listeners are always better accepted and better loved. So that's something everyone should pay attention to.
Great. So, you're so young. At what age did you start?
I started when I was 24.
Wow, lovely.
Age is no barrier. If
Of
you want to create an
course.
impact, you just start. You just start whenever you want to, wherever you want to. And I have just begun.
That's true, because at your age, people still figure out what they want to do, what they don't want to do, and you're doing amazing, brilliant job. we can ask the viewers if they have any question regarding the communication skills or speaking skills, how you can tell them to get in touch with you. Let's see, we have Jay Trivedi, and yeah, we have just put some questions and ask. Let's
Yes, Jay,
see.
you can surely ask a question. Throw away, shoot it right away.
So, is there any, like I know you said that it varies from person to person and their needs. So, any thumb rule principle for it, or just the listen, or something like that?
Well, again, things are very subjective. When some questions like these come to me over interviews, I'm not able to answer them right away because it always differs from person to person. But if you ask me, and this is something that we have already discussed, I think being compassionate towards your listeners and towards your audience does a marvelous work for any communicator. There are people out there, and I do it too. Sometimes I just want to speak my heart out, so I would just turn on my camera, I would start a live video, and I will speak it out. Right, I might be having a bad day, and I leverage my entire Instagram or my Facebook or my LinkedIn community, and they give me their thoughts and solutions. I do it as well, right? But most of the times when you go out, you already know that, you know what, you're going to speak to that person, or you going to attend a meeting with an agenda, you're going to attend your boss or your colleagues or your friends with an agenda. There's one thing that you should always follow as great communicators is forget the fact that you have to be an amazing orator to be a great communicator. You got to be compassionate orator. You don't have to be a great orator. You got to be a compassionate orator. You got to be a compassionate speaker. You got to be a compassionate listener. And only then, people will listen to you. You will build an influence and you will build an impact. There are a lot of people out there who speak for the heck of speaking, and that takes them nowhere. And that takes them nowhere. That shouldn't be the agenda. Speak because you want to create an impact. Speak because you want to help people. Speak because you want to make lives better. And all of these, the foundation beneath is compassion. Is compassion.
True, true, lovely. So, is there anything you want to say, our viewers? And I just would want to say that if anybody wants to learn lovely skills from Nizom, you know how passionate he is about his work. So you can get in touch. Nizom, is there anything you want to say something to our viewers?
Yes, first of all, thank you everyone for joining in. And thank you, Mala, for having me. It's always fun to meet amazing people like you, and to have a communication, to interact with your audience. And this also helps me create a greater impact, because now I'm talking to your audience and my audience as well. And now I'm creating a greater impact. So that's something that I really, really appreciate. And one thing that I want to tell a lot of people, because people mistake communication as someone who is great at a language skill. So if someone can speak great English, they would take the fact that, you know what, he or she is a great communicator. I've seen people who are great at English and they are horrible communicators. And I've seen people who are horrible at English and are great communicators in their own language.
That's
Communication is
true.
about how better and how effective and efficiently you put your thoughts and ideas across. Language is just a medium to do it. English is just a medium to do it. So take that mindset off that you got to be good at English in order to be good public speakers. No. If you want to be good at English, then that's a language. But if you want to be a good public speaker, you can do it at any language you want to. It can be your mother tongue, your Hindi, you can Spanish, French, you name it, and you can be great communicators in those. So language is just a medium, and communication is an art. And I, being a motivation speaker myself, there is one thing that really holds back people, because they think that people would judge me if I say something wrong, or if I mispronounce a word, or if I give a different body gesture or a facial expression while communicating something. Get off that cocoon. Get off that cocoon. The more you stay in that cocoon, you are just gonna ruin your communication skills. You gotta get off that cocoon, and you will only be able to overcome that only when you go out there and present and express yourself. No matter how bad you do it, 10 times, 20 times is going to be bad, but I promise you, the 21st time, you're going to be much better than the first time. Just do this and you're going to be great, expressive personalities out there.
Lovely. So, as I said, just be yourself, no matter what language. Speak from your heart, speak from your soul, and you are sorted.
Absolutely, 100%.
Lovely. It was so much fun talking to you, Nizam. Thank you so much. And we'll catch you again next Thursday with an amazing personality. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mala. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.